October 2018. So in the last episode, you heard about my experience at UPW, how amazing it was, how much I learned. Now, between now and then, between October and July, a lot has happened. I've been focusing on how do I take what I'm learning in the 2 Comma Club X coaching program? How do I take those skills, that knowledge, and apply it to my Sandler business? How do I apply it in a way to get people to come to me so that I can continue learning, continue growing in order to make a bigger impact? And I've been working through it, and the idea I came up with was creating this challenge, a sales challenge. In 30 days, can we help you get the results you want in order to prove that Sandler works? So that was my idea. That's what I was working on. So I was building out this funnel. I was putting everything together, and it came together really well. There was just one problem. Sandler's a franchise. And as part of that franchise, the franchise gets to make the rules. They get to decide what you can do and what you can't do. And some of the things I was doing were against their rules. It just, for whatever reason, they didn't want franchisees marketing in that way. So we got a cease and desist letter. We got a letter saying, listen, you can't do that. You have to stop. This was early October, and to be candid, I was furious. I was so upset. I was like, oh, I've been working so hard to make this happen. I've been working so hard to figure out how to apply these techniques around their rules. And even though I was trying to follow by the rules, I wasn't completely successful. So we got the letter. And my first thought was, oh, that's it. I'm quitting. I'm going to quit. No longer am I going to work with Sandler. I'm going to go find my own thing, do my own thing. And then I let myself cool down a little bit, and I thought about it, and I realized, I've got an awesome job. I loved what I was doing. But I don't have to love what I'm doing. I can just be comfortable. I could be comfortable working at Sandler without having to push all the boundaries, push the limits on everything. There's a lot of humans out there that hate their jobs, that are miserable going to work. I could be like them. I could just put up with it, have a fantastic personal life, focus on building personal income, and not worry about making a big difference in the world. And so after about a week, I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to keep on keeping on, not going to ruffle any feathers. Because at this point, I just thought about it. I think I'm going to quit, right? So I decided to live miserably. I decided not to take the leap, not to go out and try something new, and just settle for what I already had. End of October comes. There's this event. So in the 2 Comma Club coaching program, it's called the Traffic Event, all around how do you drive traffic. And so I went to it. It's in Phoenix. Amazing experience. The very first speaker, on the very first day, opened my mind to something I'd never realized before. It was another coach consultant by the name of Myron Golden. Amazing, amazing individual. I highly recommend go find his stuff. Pay attention to it. Anytime he opens his mouth, it's pure gold. I love it. But he was talking to Russell Brunson, the owner of ClickFunnels, before the event about this concept. And Russell said, that's powerful. I think I'd like you to share that before we even get started. So this wasn't planned. It was just off the cuff. Russell invited Myron up to share this story. And he shared a story. I'm not going to go into the entire story, But the basics of it are, in order to do something, you don't have to learn how to do anything. You don't have to learn the mechanics behind it. You have to first make a decision to do something. Once you've made the decision to do something, then the rest kind of falls into place. So he shared this story about creating a covenant with yourself, making a decision with yourself to hit the 2 comma club mark, which means do $1 million in revenue through one funnel. So he was telling this story. He was helping people see that they need to make a decision and then figure out how. Most people focus on the how before they ever make the decision, yes or no. And I was one of those people, by the way. One of the reasons I decided not to quit 2 weeks earlier, my Sandler career, was because I didn't know what I would do or how I would do it, right? So that fear, the fear of the unknown, held me where I was. So he shared this message about make a decision based on what you want and then figure out how. Don't try and figure out how to do something before you've made the decision that you even want to do it. So that's what I did. I thought about it, and I thought about it throughout the entire conference. What decision am I going to make? And then on the very last day of the conference, different coach consultant got up named Alex Sharfin. Alex Sharfin got up and started talking about family business. And one of the other attendees asked a question around family business. How do you handle something when you feel like you want to do more, but you don't want to let the family down? And that's exactly where I was. Because if it wasn't for being in business with my parents, business partners with my parents, if it wasn't for that, I would have left Sandler a long time ago, like years ago. But I loved working with my parents, and I loved the mission we were on. And so after the question, we went to lunch. I went and sat by Jordan, who's an amazing individual, and we had a conversation, a discussion around family business, because we were in very similar situations. And so through that discussion, I made the decision. That this was not my path. Working at Sandler was not the path that I was supposed to make. I was meant for more, and I had to figure out what that was. So right then, it was October, I believe, 28th, I made the decision to leave Sandler. And then I just had to figure out how. So in the next episode, what I'm going to share with you is how I executed on that decision of I'm leaving Sandler, I'm leaving what I've done for the last 10 years and moving on to something else. And it's a fun story. So stay tuned. I'll tell you all about it later.